Morning everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the sunny off-grid project today. Looking good, looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. Let me show you what I've done so far over the weekend. We did this in a hurry, so didn't do any recording, but let me show you what's been going on. We are starting a rainwater collection system for the animals, and we went and got tank of water, fresh clean water for the animals, so that we now have a watering station just for them, so it's gravity feed. And our bucket is right there for the goats. That's for the goats and the chickens, so they have their own water supply now and their own water tank. This is a really nice clean tank that I sorted out of all that pile that we have, and I've got to build a frame up underneath that overhang of the roof and then put rain gutters up. And then when we add on the roof of the woodshed, we'll have all those rain gutters and all that water supply to help fill up the tank. And I want to move this wood pile eventually as we use it, burn it, and split it and stack it, whatever we do. Some is cured, some is not. And I'm going to put a second tank over here. And then we will have to eventually build a shelter around the tanks to keep them from turning green inside and to prevent freezing. So it's the beginning of a nice system that we have here, and every building and every structure is going to have its own rainwater supply. So there's one thing we set up. This is my beautiful greenhouse. I want to try to get siding on that and the tiny house on wheels within the next week or so. So I am going to hopefully be working on the pallet wood and preparing it for both projects as well. And we're going to slap some sheet metal on the goat pen today and start closing that off and securing that for the goats. Now, really quickly, this is not the prettiest of all systems, but very quickly Chris helped me yesterday. I got a water tank up here on logs. Looks like I got to stabilize that better. It's awkward because there's quite a hill, quite a slope here, and it was really awkward trying to get that stabilized properly. But I really quickly threw together a rainwater collection system for the greenhouse by taking a piece of old rain gutter and a piece of wire and having it go right into the tank. And we collected some water from the rain. It's hard to see the level, but we got 1.5 inches or so of water. It's up to here from the rain this Sunday. So hey, it's better than nothing. So we went and got, look what, this was beautiful. My Sawzall, my Roby reciprocating saw. That's just a beautiful freehand cut I made right there to allow that valve to sit in here. Really like how that turned out. This is temporary though, because this tank eventually is going to reside inside the greenhouse as part of our aquaponics lab, or a tank like this. I'm going to go and check. This is the one we've been hauling water with on the truck. It's got the ridged sides so it doesn't bow out as bad, and I like that. So we might keep this particular tank for the truck for hauling water from the creek. But I am going to be putting a tank inside the greenhouse on a pallet just like this and raised off the ground a little for warmth, and then run the rain gutters inside through the wall and start stocking up fish in there for our aquaponics. And then of course water resists temperature change. And then I will also have the ability to fill up 55-gallon drums inside here. Now you might remember from the last video, all I have to do is put up one piece of siding here and then finish nailing in. By the way, it's really warm in here. I think that my cheap little AccuRite thermometer is not very AccuRite, because in here it feels really warm. And last I checked, it was 45 out and 43 in the greenhouse according to the sensor, which is up over here. And I'm telling you, when I come in here, I have to take my jackets off. I have to be in my t-shirt. So it is too hot in here for that to be right. It is way, way too warm in here. Little quick overview of what's going on with the plants. Our red flowers are really pretty and thriving. Our chili is not doing anything. It hasn't died, but it hasn't grown. Our tomato is also not doing anything. It hasn't grown or died, but not dying is good. Our watermelon did die. It did not like being transplanted. Lettuce plants are growing beautifully. Melanie put a celery plant in here. Really cool. I'm going to have to do a video series on Melanie's saving plants from cuttings. I didn't know this was possible, guys, but Melanie showed me. Where are we? Melanie took celery and took the end. She cut it off enough, just a piece of the bottom. Stuck it in water and it grew roots. And now it's got leaves. It's alive. It's growing. So we'll never have to buy celery again. So she's quite amazing with plants. She did the same with a Chinese, what do you call it? Chinese salad or Chinese lettuce or cabbage. One of those things that she put in water and it grew. But when she transplanted it, she said she did it too late. Oh, it's right there in the corner. It died because she waited too long, she said. But it was growing. So she's very good with that. Our lantana is not just living, but producing flowers. And that was dried right up. So the lantana is beautiful and turning out very well here in the greenhouse. That is thriving. Everything else, let me see what else. The chili, looks like I need water. That's why another reason I got to get the tanks in here. The chili has 1, 2, 3 flowers. So I might actually move this to a sunnier place. There's a pepper growing, so that's actually thriving. I'm going to put that in a more sunny location to give it a better chance. Up here, the peas are growing and actually doing quite well. So, and that chili there looks very good. It looks like it might be putting out more leaves. So far, we're doing good without heat. But of course, I'm going to get the heat in here and get the heat mass, the thermal mass with water tanks and stuff, and get this place hooked up. We've got a thing called Mother of Thousands, and it produces baby plants along the edges of its leaves and then drops them off, and then they produce more babies. So we're having some cool stuff out here. The aloe vera is actually growing out here in the greenhouse. Alright guys, I'm too warm. I gotta get outside. Or either way, either take my jacket off inside and work or get outside and work. But I will make up my mind which way it's gonna go, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Just got my work shirt on. Sweatshirt off, coat off. Outside I need a sweatshirt and a jacket. And here is cozy warm. Amazing. Just having windows and a half see-through roof and a half insulated wall. It's amazing what it does for you in here. It's just incredible. Now I'm going along, I don't know if you can see me over in the corner here. I'm going along the bottom and nailing in the bottom lip of my material here. Ah, there's a plant in my way. Root. There's a root in my way. I was hitting. There's some remains of some wild roses down here. The one was right where I was nailing. Hit my hammer. So I'm just nailing along the bottom. See, because mice are so bad out here, I was going to put up some sort of paneling or some sort of wood material, and then I was going to put up flashing along the bottom. And that's like double work. And I got thinking, I was looking at the price of the materials, and I thought about the swimming pool liner that I found for free on the side of the road, and I'm like, well, that's 2 in 1. do what wants to be done. Mouse proofing at the same time. So here it is. No mouse is getting through that. And when I get the radiant foil and all the tape on the seams, I won't have any problems with moisture either out here. So the bottom lip is getting extra nails just to be sure that nothing can get through. And that's the main seam anyway, so we got to seal it off well against the environment and everything else. So I want to finish putting all the nails in. Boy, I might have to open some windows in here. It's hot. It's really hot in here. So I'm going to finish nailing all this up and then put in this last piece in the corner, which I already got cut. And then move in some water tanks, because Melanie and I want to catch some fish, stock them, and have them to eat at our leisure. So we got to get the water tank in here, and we have rain coming again in a couple days, so I might as well capture that water. And then again, like I said, the next coming up, goat pen, house, and siding on the greenhouse is all going to be rolled up together, because it's all I'm not sure on the goat pen yet. I'm putting sheet metal on one wall, but I'm probably going to use barnwood on another in a horizontal pattern, and that way that'll give the extra strength, plus sealing it off against the elements. But I'm still thinking about that as I work, and I've got to see how much pallet wood I have out here, because the house is going to be the top priority for looking nice. And the greenhouse I want it to look good as well. The goats won't really care how it looks, but I want it to be sealed off. I'm also going to half enclose the front walls, but we'll get to that. That's a different project for a different day. Well, there it is, everybody, and I am literally sweating in here, so I've got to check. I'm curious. I'm going to go in the house and check what the thermometer says. It is hot. Although I do have it on a higher shelf. I don't know, I can't imagine. I'm going to put it down a little bit lower, but I can't imagine that 18 inches makes any difference really that much. It is hot. But there it is, all done. Back wall is finished. Gonna set up a pallet on a raised platform in here then now, and bring in a tote and set that up for rainwater collection. And then, as I said, over here is going to be a couple 55-gallon drums full of water for thermal mass. And we'll get rolling. We'll get this stuff and get this place put together and get everything done. Well, guys, that cannot be correct, because it says it's 50 out and I need a jacket outside. It says it's 50 in the greenhouse. That just cannot be. That cannot be right. I'm going to take another thermometer out there and do a comparison reading, because that just doesn't seem right. It's really hot in there. It's really, really hot. I'm literally sweating down to my work shirt. So that cannot be right. I don't know if you can see this. It's another Accurite thermometer. It's not easy to see. It's sort of ridiculous. It was cheap at the time I bought it a year or two ago. Well, I'll have to tell you. It's a window thermometer. It says 73.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Already sitting right next to the transmitter of the remote thermometer. So, and this has already gone up from 70 in the house to 73.8 within a couple minutes, 73.9 and rising. Not in the sun, just sitting in the shade on the same shelf that this transmitter is on. The transmitter is saying 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, it could very well be that the transmitter is slower to change temperature, but that would be ridiculous and wasteful, useless. if it's still not warming up the case of the thermometer to tell me what the temperature inside the greenhouse is. 74.1 degrees and rising on the little unseeable see-through thermometer. Anyway, we'll let that go for a while and I'll come back to you and see what the real temperature is out here in the greenhouse. At least the temperature according to that one as compared to the digital, which doesn't seem to be working.